Is a demonstration of Wirecast.
I posted the link.
I'm ready. Yeah.
Alright, good. Let's go. Tell your friends, tell your wife to post it. No, share live.
We're good and ready. Good to go. Move that forward. Right here.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. Get us set up here.
Here it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right.
This is
Hello.
a demonstration of
Ready to go?
Wirecast.
Not yet. Live.
We are live.
Nice Friday afternoon.
Friday,
Nice calm Friday afternoon. Right?
Yeah. Started off a little bit wonky in the stock market.
Yeah.
All major indices gap down about 1%
Mm-hmm.
and have since made back most of the gap and are basically trading sideways.
Okay. I haven't looked at the market really today, so all of my reactions will be fresh.
Okay.
Let's see how we're looking.
So here is today.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
So pre-market trading a little bit higher than the close yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
38. So we closed yesterday 38.48, just about.
Mm-hmm.
Traded a little bit higher after market, and see that pretty solid
This is a
gap
demonstration
down
of
pre-market. So
Wirecast.
we're still pre-market trading. Came back. Here we have 9 a.m. and you see that pretty heavy gap down at 9 a.m. Was a little gap followed by a monster candle. A little bit of choppiness until Euro close. A little bit higher. We ended Euro close.
This
Basically
is a
with
demonstration of Wirecast.
catching up most of the losses for the morning,
Okay.
and have since traded a little bit bullish, but mostly sideways
Mm-hmm.
for the better part of the day. Here we see a little bit of a run at power hour here. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of those intraday highs, but you never know. We could give them a
This
test.
is a
Today is the
demonstration
last
of Wirecast.
trading day before the last week. So the last trading week, if everyone considers it the 3 days to end this year and 2 days into next year. Basically, next week is the last week of the year. A little bit of a trading, not too much volume expected. Today the volume has been quite low.
This is a demonstration
Pretty
of
low
Wirecast.
volume for a normal Friday, but average to end the year. Usually the lull right before Christmas, right after Christmas, not too much volume. A lot of big traders have stepped away from the computer.
Yeah. Santa rallies.
The Santa rallies.
Santa rallies. That's what we were looking for.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a rally today. Let's take a look at your major indices on the day. Yeah, a little bit of a rally. All sectors are up, I believe. We'll take a look in a second at the sectors. But mostly sideways. I was not too busy. I put on a trade or two. I have one working now. I have an Apple trade I'm trying to get filled. So I'm trying to have the market come to me, not chase the market for a fill price, because it's important. Entry is almost as important as exit. I think both are like just right up there.
Yeah.
But entry is one of the most important things to focus on.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
Day trading, swing trading, option trading especially.
Yep.
See. Okay. So E-mini S&P futures up 0.5%. NASDAQ up just about 0.1%. It was the laggard on the day, trading negative basically for the entire day, just through power hour, starting to catch a little bit of a bid. The NASDAQ. Major NASDAQ equities were getting hammered most of the day. Tesla sort of finding footing, not really getting below 121. Google doing okay. Meta, switch here for a second, okay. Yeah, Apple trailing
This
the
is
rest
a
of the FANG
demonstration
stocks.
of
Google having a
Wirecast.
nice day. Amazon catching up
Nice day.
most of what it lost yesterday.
Yeah.
Microsoft getting hammered the entire day, just now getting positive. Meta regaining some of its losses from yesterday, but still on its feet. Figure out how to spell Microsoft.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Yeah, Microsoft has been a pretty, yeah, look at that. Just getting positive. Getting hit to start the day, took another hit. Trading sideways.
Really trying to push the intraday high. Moment. Staying sideways for the most part.
Microsoft, yeah.
Yeah, it's rallying up right now towards the end. So might try to push that intraday
This
high.
is a
Super high
demonstration
beta
of
with the market,
Wirecast.
so the correlation between Microsoft and the S&P is, I would say, in the 0.9s, so pretty high,
Mhm.
pretty one-to-one correlated.
Yeah.
Take a look at Netflix for the day.
We have a nice bullish power hour. Definitely can see it past the intraday high.
Yeah, it depends on the momentum coming into the highs.
This
I think
is a
you might be right.
demonstration of
Netflix never
Wirecast.
really catching up any ground like the rest of the FANG stocks.
Yeah.
Google has been outperforming pretty much the whole day, and I think it's been one of the strongest stocks Google has. Talking like about the tech stocks in general.
Yeah.
The last week, you saw a little bit of a hurt coming into the tech stocks. The growth names were getting pounded, and Google, you see for the day,
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
a week, has held up a little bit better than its peers. So, Google this week. Yeah, it's trading in about a $2 range, between 89 and 87. Hit the lows yesterday, but it, compared to the rest of the market and
This
other
is a
FANG
demonstration
stocks,
of Wirecast.
Google held its ground pretty nicely. So here is Thursday, pretty big sell-off, solid rally into the end of the day yesterday. But compared to, let's say, Amazon on Thursday, Amazon on Thursday, trading in basically the same range, but it had almost 3 times
This is a
the pressure.
demonstration
Yeah,
of Wirecast.
and the range. 3 times the selling pressure, 3 times the range. So Amazon trading a little bit tighter than, especially Tesla. You don't even want to look at Tesla. Yeah, Tesla's 5-day chart is, you want to throw up.
Having a tough time. I mean, their CEO's going through a little Kanye phase right now. So.
He's going through a little bit. I don't want to spend too much time talking about Elon because it's,
He's all over the place regardless.
Yeah, there's no, I don't think there's a point.
Yeah.
What he may or may not
This is a
do.
demonstration
And
of
what he
Wirecast.
says or may not say. Because, you have to take him at his word, and right now, it's not worth too much.
Yeah. Exactly.
So Tesla participating in the downside yesterday, never really making its way up like the rest of the market, and still trading for actual trading days. It had a little bit of nighttime highs, but in terms of actual trading day for retail traders, you haven't seen Tesla recover at all
This
from
is a
Thursday's
demonstration
demolition.
of Wirecast.
Basically, it went on a demolition derby, and it has not recovered for more than 6 minutes. You see like 2 candles here, 2 5-minute candles, where it sort of tested those recovery highs a little bit and just getting battered right down.
Yep.
It's
trading sideways in a textbook pattern right now.
Yeah, so it
pretty
did
textbook, sideways.
It did find footing in the low 120s. Everyone was kind of looking for the floor for just for a couple days or a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Tesla's preliminary bottom or temporary floor? And I think we found it in the low 120s. I put on a broken wing butterfly in Tesla on the put side. Was it 4 days ago? I think the start of this week, maybe late last week.
Mm-hmm.
It's taken a little bit of heat, but the broken wing butterfly basically in this scenario holds up much more. It holds up a little bit better than some of the other premium selling options or strategies. So even though I'm getting tested on the downside, my strikes are at. So if we want to analyze Tesla for a second, Tesla, you're taking a little bit of heat, down about $20 in total. But for Tesla to have a 4 standard deviation move this week, or 3 times expected move, and for me only to be down $20, it kind of says something about the strategy used and when you're going about placing these trades.
Yeah.
Really, really understanding the environment and picking your strategy selectively.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to take a look, actually, this is something I wanted to do. Take a look at this Tesla trade. So the high end of my broken wing butterfly is right around where Tesla is trading at. So it's at 124. I get tested around 121. My break even is down in the 112s, 113s.
Yeah.
So, nowhere near getting tested. We talked about this, or I talked about this earlier in the week. Obviously, there's no point right now in managing, but if you want to analyze it and see what we're looking at.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Tesla. You can just add the bottom side of my broken wing butterfly. It's these there. Take a look at the risk profile for Tesla.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Yeah. So here you see sort of the beauty of the broken wing butterfly. I made this trade when Tesla was in the 140s, I believe. Take a look.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
So Tesla placed a trade 1220, so 3 days ago. Tesla 3 days ago, 1220. So Tesla trading, around the 140 mark, a little bit lower most of the day. I believe I placed a trade when Tesla was around 140.
Of Wirecast.
And if you actually analyze the trade, so we had a 20-point buffer to the downside to where we started to consider management.
Yeah.
But almost a 30-point buffer to where we're actually taking on any sort of losses. So the broken wing butterfly, where it shines, is if the stock stays to the no risk side, so no risk to the upside on a put broken wing butterfly.
Wirecast.
And if you do start to see some testing to the downside to where you actually have risk, before you get tested, that's actually where you can make the highest profit. So if you see Tesla, this is at expiration. So if Tesla were to be anywhere around the high one teens, like 115, 117, 118, 119, I'd be able to close it for a solid profit. Where you start seeing risk is if Tesla breaches the mid, 115s, 116 with some time to go. So that's where you'd start seeing some marked losses. We have to consider your management opportunities.
Mhm.
What can I do? So what you would do with a broken wing butterfly on the put side, you would sell out. You would sell out of the top long put spread, which would be trading for max profit, and then you just have a short put spread that you would manage just like any other short put spread. You can sell a short call spread against it, turn it into an iron condor.
Mhm.
You could sell a short call spread at the same strike, turn it into an iron fly.
Yeah.
You can invert it if things are really going crazy right there and collect some credit, reduce your max loss. So there's plenty of things to do if you do get tested or breached and you're forced to manage.
Yeah.
This is why I like broken wing butterflies so much.
Is a demonstration
Versatile,
of Wirecast.
works well. The buying power is not crazy, so it works well with a 5K, 10K account size,
Mhm.
and it doesn't get out of control quickly. So you usually have days or weeks to
See potential losses and manage.
make your decision. But it's always good to have a strategy and to have a target before you put on that strategy to know like, okay, if I'm taking heat at this date, I'll do this, or depending on the environment, if implied volatility is higher, then I'd be more willing to sell a call spread.
Mm-hmm.
If implied volatility has collapsed, I'd be more willing to just leave the short put spread and see what happens. Give it some more time. Maybe roll out just the short put spread side to the next month. Give
Yeah.
myself some time to get a little bit of a reversal in Tesla, and then I could sell that short call spread. So
Good way to minimize your loss, at least.
great way to minimize your loss. Excellent way to keep yourself in the game.
Mhm.
It's all about giving yourself duration,
Yeah.
giving yourself time, having theta work for you, if at all possible, and to be on the right side of volatility.
Mhm.
So that crazy outlier moves in the underlying, they're not crushing you.
Yeah.
You can recover, always. And it's important to trade small,
Yeah.
which is great. Which is why I love the broken wing butterfly. You can make the wings, the length,
That's comfortable.
comfortable.
For your size, or your count.
Comfortable for you, comfortable for your account size that sort of leans into what the environment is giving you.
Yeah.
Sometimes the underlying is giving you those large wing opportunities where you can get the 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. Sometimes the underlying is giving you more of like a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 risk reward, and then you have to manage those wing sizes. But super important to know your risk profile. I love to get on the platform and play around with my risk profile.
Yeah, these charts are good to show as well as we walk through like the strategy of why we chose the strategy that we chose, the management strategy, whatever we showed,
Demonstration of Wirecast.
why we went down.
Absolutely. 1223. Yeah. So it looks good. Like the Tesla trade. Anything else? So I mentioned I have an Apple trade working right now. I'm trying to get it filled for most of the day.
This is a demonstration of
Yeah, it's been right around that 28-cent mark. I'm looking for a little bit more credit. Again, another broken wing butterfly. This one on the call side,
Mm-hmm.
and
Is that a save order or is that a trigger?
it's working
Oh, okay.
right now.
Okay.
It just my limit is I want more money than the market's offering.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna stay working for
demonstration of Wirecast.
this one. I have it for today. So at 4 o'clock, it's gonna cancel itself.
I gotcha.
If it doesn't fill. So beta weighted. Look. Yeah, so all in all, beta weighted 4 to 5 beta weight long. So overall, slightly long, slightly bullish
is a
portfolio-wise,
demonstration of
but
Wirecast.
still relatively neutral. So with a 5K account size, to have 5 long beta weighted delta, it's pretty neutral.
Yeah.
You're never gonna throughout the day keep exactly 0 delta, long or short, but anywhere within 0.1% of your net lick, plus or minus, is basically neutral.
Yeah.
So as long as you're monitoring it and you're adding positions or you're managing positions as those deltas get out of your preferred range,
This is a demonstration of
and knowing the right
Wirecast.
ways to keep those deltas sort of where you are, cost-efficient way to manage delta. Sometimes it's putting on a new trade. Sometimes it's managing current trades, because usually it doesn't cost you more buying power. So, yeah, happy with these. Did we talk about the SPY trade I had yesterday?
No, I don't think we had a chance to
I
talk
had
about it on here.
Pretty solid trade in SPY. I've been trading the indices pretty well
This is a
last
demonstration of Wirecast.
month or so.
Yep.
Scalping trades, long and short,
Some
buying and
of them
selling.
even on the. Is that the one that automatically filled while we were live?
That was one of the ones that automatically filled on last week's live.
Yeah.
So what I had in SPY, I was getting a little long delta in my portfolio, and I was monitoring SPY for the entire day. This was so I bought a put spread at the 376 strike
Okay.
for, I believe it was for January 6th. So 2 weeks out, about 10 or so days out.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought the 376 strike and I sold the 370 strike.
Mhm.
So buying a put spread is net bearish.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Saw a pretty big sell-off Wednesday, the same day I put the trade on. But it was still, the goal of the trade was to balance out my portfolio. So even though I was showing, about a 30% gain in a day on that trade, I kept it on really for the balancing. It was, an inexpensive way to balance my portfolio. So what I did the next day, you saw that run up to end the day.
Yeah.
This
Lost a
is
little money on that put
demonstration
spread.
of
Still had a
Wirecast.
balanced portfolio. All in all, not a big deal. The next day, we saw a pretty massive sell-off again. My put spread was trading for almost 100% return on capital. So my, max loss was $1.30, $130. It was trading for almost $215.
Yeah.
So what I did was sell out of that long put spread for basically 100% gain in a day.
This
Mm-hmm.
is a
And
demonstration of
keep
Wirecast.
the spirit of the hedge, make sure I had a balanced portfolio. I put on a bearish skewed iron condor, $8 wide in SPY, and kept the spirit of the hedge. So you see this is a trade that I put on to replace the long put spread, and it is net negative 10 delta. So the other one was, so the long put spread, still beta weighted, was about negative
This is a
14
demonstration
beta weighted
of
delta when I took it off.
Wirecast.
So basically kept the same delta short to balance the portfolio. I locked in that profit for the long put spread, and I gave myself so much more of a buffer to the downside and the upside with an $8 wide iron condor. I went to like the 15 delta on the downside.
Yeah.
So I have, basically I have until SPY is at 345 before I
This
take
is a
any heat
demonstration
whatsoever.
of Wirecast.
That's like a $400 move in SPX. So a lot of room on the downside, bearish skewed, and I still have 11 or 12 points. So I went to the 25 delta on the call side. So definitely a bearish skewed iron condor, still keeping the spirit of that delta hedge in my portfolio. But about 5 minutes after I took off the long put spread, the market
Demonstration of
rallied back up.
Wirecast.
If I would have kept the long put spread, I would have basically lost 50% of that value. still kept the delta hedge, but at that point the risk reward for the delta hedge was sort of out of line. My risk was outweighing my reward side, even on a delta hedge trade. So switched the strategy of the trade, kept the delta hedge, and we still saw a 200-point rally or 100-point rally in SPX, and I am only taking about $20 of heat on the upside of the Iron Condor, where I would have lost 60% of my long put spread value.
Yeah.
So nice way to keep the spirit of what you're trying to do with your portfolio and make sure you're staying balanced, but not have it cost you too much. In this certain scenario, that hedge made me 100% on investment,
This is a demonstration
and it allowed me
of
to
Wirecast.
Save it as well.
save as well. So
So good risk management on both sides.
I won on both sides basically.
Mhm.
So super happy with that. I have this Apple trade working. I really wanted, in the 30s to balance out this Google trade. So Google, this one is expiring today. Free butterfly, no win, no loss, just a free butterfly. Made about $5 on it. And I have a
This is
put broken wing
demonstration
butterfly
of Wirecast.
in Google, same as Tesla, but not really taking any heat. I just, looking for a little bit of a balancing act. I was thinking about putting the same trade on the call side for Google,
Uh-huh.
but the environment wasn't really giving me what I was looking for on the call side. So I was trying to place it in Apple, the same spirit, and being that Apple and Google are pretty heavily correlated,
This is a
it worked out the same
demonstration
way,
of Wirecast.
and I'm putting myself in a better position just because I'm collecting more credit. Instead of, forcing myself to hedge my Google trade with Google,
Yeah.
I can just hedge it with a highly correlated other underlying.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm working with in this trade. Even though I still want that, I want this position, I want it at the right price. So I'm going to have the market come to me.
Mhm.
If it doesn't, I may have to settle. I may not put this trade on. But we'll see.
This is a
going on with
demonstration
crypto?
of Wirecast.
What's going on with
Very
crypto?
nice and fresh today. Let's look at the news first.
Look at
Before
the
we,
news.
move on to the crypto charts. That way I know what to expect.
Okay. How about we do both at once?
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
How does that sound? Are you guys having a good time out there? What's going on in the chat? You guys friendly?
You guys
Are you
want us
not
to cover
friendly?
anything specific? Any stock you want us to cover?
Anything you're thinking about? Did you come into money recently? You want to know what to do with it? Yeah. A couple Bored Apes selling. What's going on with crypto? I saw that a whale moved a lot of money onto Coinbase in both Ethereum and Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So somebody sent,
This is a demonstration
I
of
think
Wirecast.
22 million.
so 22 million of Ethereum, but it was like a crazy amount of Bitcoin. I think it was like 100,000 Bitcoin.
Okay. 39 million into Coinbase.
Yeah,
22, so
it's
probably
Ethereum.
yeah. Then the rest is probably into Bitcoin.
So yeah, how much in Bitcoin?
17,000.
No,
Or 17 million.
yeah. There's also something crazy with Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Russia said that they will legalize international transfer of cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
This is
I
a
just saw that.
demonstration of Wirecast.
I'm not sure if that's bullish or bearish.
I mean, seems like people are storing, and when people are storing, when you see a higher percentage of people holding instead of selling, that's always a good sign. But there's a huge amount of people that are still scared. And like I said before, I think we're just waiting for actual news for either for people to feel safe.
What will it take for people to put more money back into
I really think,
cryptocurrency?
even though normally it hurts the market, I think once the SEC starts a little bit more and
This
has
is
like
a
a little bit more,
demonstration of Wirecast.
it's a little bit more secured and backed by the government, then that's when I think people will start having trust in it again and start seeing long-term use cases of it.
I think a couple more companies need to go bankrupt in the crypto space before you find a floor.
To be fair, yeah, they might be hidden and going through that problem right now, just not trying to make it public and trying to save themselves as much as they can.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a handful of companies right now probably going through that same situation, just searching for funds all around. You know,
This
trying
is
to
a
keep their
demonstration of Wirecast.
nice spike right here. Yesterday midday, trading pretty sideways. Up a little more, came back down. Let's look at this candle. That's an interesting candle.
So there was some data that came out this morning. I think there was also some housing data, like part 2, that came out.
Mm-hmm.
But you
This
know,
is a
we're in that
demonstration
scenario where good news is bad news. Basically, it's saying, like, if we see good news on a month-to-month basis, that means what the Treasury Department, what the Federal Reserve is doing, isn't working.
Yeah.
So then they're going to tighten up for longer. They're going to raise interest rates for longer, or they're going to hold where we are for longer than expected.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Get the zoom in.
and you get the zoom in on this.
Yeah.
Probably the zoom feature.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
It's not very user friendly of you, Benzinga. Let's just say, is that today, anyways?
How about that?
That helps a little bit. It's a pretty interesting candle. So it looks like pretty much, a lot of somebody either sold and a lot of people jumped on it, and because for it to go back down and still be a green candle, that means buying pressure brought it all the way right back up.
You don't know
Somebody
the
probably-
volume.
Demonstration of
You don't know the volume.
Wirecast.
Yeah, pretty high. Like, it's probably, a situation like that when a candle is that big on the downside and it still recovers, it's most likely a whale that dumped off, and a lot of smaller fishes jumped on it at the same exact time on that buying opportunity and pushed it right back up. So a tremendous amount of buying power after a huge dump off and just pushed it all the way right back up. And then another, tremendous amount of selling pressure all the way right back down. So it seems like a lot of scalping.
This is a demonstration
Like a
of
scalping.
Wirecast.
Most likely a lot of people on intraday crypto traders took advantage of that right there. That's why you see a lot of high volume.
Could be 2 algorithms fighting each other.
That as well, yep.
One that triggered to sell and one that triggered to buy.
Yeah, that's oh my god.
Some people are saying that,
That's a headache.
Bitcoin and Ethereum being pinned at this, trading in a range of like $300, $400.
Mhm.
It's a little bit of manipulation.
This is a demonstration
How so?
of Wirecast.
Like they're trying to push the price down for better entry points.
Well, no, that if it was a free market,
Uh-huh.
the price would be lower than it already is, and certain figures are propping up the price.
Fair. Okay, I get what you're saying.
So, like, when Bitcoin drops below 17 or in the 16.5 handle, or it gets into 15,
Same as like the forex market, where governments start stepping in, start moving a large amount of.
somebody's buying, someone's buying all that selling pressure up.
Yeah.
And it's propping it up,
This is a
and
demonstration
you
of
can kind of see it
Wirecast.
when it rises back with such velocity and momentum,
Mhm.
and doesn't break through 17.5 or 18 flat. It just sort of rises up with so much vigor and momentum, and it just hits a ceiling and just pins right where it should be
Yeah.
until the next, bout of selling pressure. So we're in a little bit of a weird phase here.
Yep. And market manipulation never is. That's not really a bad thing.
Correct. And people are saying
it's not
that's-
always a
This is
bad thing. Sorry.
demonstration of
People are saying that's what
Wirecast.
happens with GLD and SLV right now.
Yeah, it happens in the forex market all the time. Like, let's say Chinese yen is becoming too valuable, America doesn't like that or something like that. Maybe they'll pay off $100 billion worth of debt to China and have them transfer the currency and flood the yen down or something like that. Yeah. So those kind of market manipulations have always been around. It'd be good to kind of see that kind of market manipulation in the crypto space with large governments, because that would just mean that it's for me, at least personally, I would think that would just give it a little bit more credibility.
This is a demonstration of
Yeah, you'd think,
Wirecast.
and a lot of people were against regulation in the crypto space, but I think until there's some sort of meaningful regulation,
It's easy to be against the regulation when it's just, shooting
Everything's up.
upwards, and you're just making money on money on money. But once it's shooting down, everyone's like, oh, who's going to protect me? Who's watching? I want protection.
Yeah.
So, I mean, nobody wanted regulations then. Everybody was making
Oh,
money.
yeah, it's
they
all
just
good.
wanted rapid growth.
It's all good when you buy Dogecoin at 1/100th of a penny and it goes to 10 cents,
Yep.
then
This
you
is a
100,000 extra money.
Wirecast.
But
Being
goes
a
the other way.
capitalist is awesome when you're the when you're the capitalist.
When the rug gets pulled, like Luna, like Celsius, like so many other actors in the industry, people are upset and they want answers.
Yeah.
And there are just no answers other than
Which is
gone.
Yep, which is why a lot of people in the crypto space honestly do not see as much, they lost a crap ton of money. They still see this as a good sign that hopefully it'll give backing into the
Is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Yeah, so portfolio, get into the last stretch here of the day. Let's see if we can get something working here. Yeah, that's 808. Couple orders filled, sold a couple things. I actually bought some XBI, which is a biotech, the ETF for the biotech sector.
Mm-hmm.
I do think there's going to be a little bit of a rotation into different sectors going into next year. So I
This
think
is a
growth names are going to take a
demonstration
hit
of
still.
Wirecast.
I think people are going to come after margins and profits. And when you see Tesla, or you see so many other companies trading at a 50x multiple,
Mm-hmm.
or even have trading at negative earnings and not showing a profit quarter after quarter, I think those. I was looking into a leap for XBI, so buying a call, 250 days out for a cheap price and sort of waiting for that home run. It's basically like a cheap way to get 100 shares of
This is a
the biotech
demonstration
industry.
of
Yeah.
Wirecast.
But they were a little too expensive per the delta,
Mm-hmm.
so still gonna wait on that. I might take a shot with a 4-man's covered call.
Yeah.
So buying that long call and selling short calls against it week after week, month after month to sort of help my break even and pay off that long call. But XBI got hit, the whole sector got hit
This
today,
is a
so
demonstration
not
of
really
Wirecast.
losing anything by waiting for a better opportunity to play on that bias. Most of the sectors are green today. Materials, green. Communications, energy, green. Financials, tech. Tech was getting hit earlier. They've sort of made a comeback.
Yeah.
Kind of found the floor. It's hard for the tech sector.
Had a rough week.
Yeah, they're had a rough week.
Hard to recover all.
Nobody really knows what's going on with Tesla, so it's real hard to price that in, especially
This
with
is a demonstration
the sector
of
being weighted
Wirecast.
so heavily towards those big names. Industrials doing okay. My lift trade, speaking of industrials, I put on a iron fly, $3.50 wide, put on a $10 stock. That's super wide. It's like my deltas. Like when I put it on, it was almost like a 20 delta wing on the iron condor or the iron fly. So a 20 delta
Demonstration
wing
of Wirecast.
in lift is a $3.50 wide spread, but a 20 delta in Tesla is $25 wide.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all relative. So that's why it's important to trade in delta, to trade using delta, so you can standardize. And putting on a $5 wide spread in lift, you might be taking on more risk than is worth it. You may be getting paid 5 pennies for taking on an extra $100 risk if you're not watching what you're buying and like the intrinsic value that you're giving up in risk by putting out a $5 wide spread.
Yeah.
So keeping my risk in check and being efficient with capital is why trading with delta is so important. You see now, this lift trade, I can actually, if I wanted to, I'm not going to, but I could close it out for
This is
a
a demonstration
1
of
day
Wirecast.
profit of, what did I put it on for? One filled. So I put on for $1.48, and I can close it now or $1.40. So, mm,
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
not really what I'm looking for. I put it on with a target of 25 to 30% of max credit. So I have about a $50 target profit on it.
Yeah.
So if I can get, technically, if you can get $14 in a couple days, you take it. I can get $8 next day. This is where, even though it's good to trade deltas and to trade percentages,
Is a
when you're trading
demonstration
sort of
of
smaller
Wirecast.
contracts, this is where, the percentages, you have to sort of squeeze, you have to lean towards the upper end of the percentages. So I'm leaning more towards a $50 credit or $50 profit to get out of this. So I'm going to keep this on, like the trade. Still high implied volatility, plenty of room to collapse. It's collapsed a little bit. I put it on at an over 50 IV percentile, so I caught it at a solid time. And because I caught it at a solid time, I can keep it on for longer and not feel heat.
Yeah.
So good in that lift trade. Just make sure everything is tidy for the day. Leaning long into the end of the day. For solar, good. I'm gonna have to close that next week. Google, yeah, I want to put on this Apple trade. Let's get into that 30 range. If I can snipe it at 30, I might.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Netflix had a good day today. Trading right in the middle of my strikes. Love that Netflix trade. It's kind of a weird one. It's showing us a $6 loss, $600 loss, but I can get out of all of my positions for a profit right now. So this, I'm not really sure why it's showing that. This one,
This is a demonstration of
Composable catches a little bit of a bid at the day. I might be able to push the mid-30s. And that would just be lovely. Be a beautiful hedge. I get a solid credit. Putting it in Apple's IV is super elevated. Yeah, so we're getting a little bit of a run.
Yeah.
If I can get a little bit more of a run, we can just kiss that top right there. I don't even have to get into the daily high. We can just kiss that top with some momentum and some vol expansion, and a little bit of expansion in vol, and I'd be able to put this trade on at a solid price. It's at 30 cents right now. What are the deltas? What are we looking at delta wise? Here. This is what it would be. Okay. So this is a trade I'm looking to put on. I really want over 35 cents credit, but I will take somewhere in the 30s. Let's see what we're looking at now, what these deltas are looking at. Are looking like 21 delta. That's okay. When I put it on originally, it was, I think, at the 20 exact delta, so not too bad. You can see it's a 2x6 all broken with butterfly. It should do its job by giving me protection in my Google trade, solid hedge, with still chance to make profit, with still a solid hedge, and I think an acceptable break even to the risk side, which is what you're looking for. There's only risk to the upside. There's an acceptable break even, so I wouldn't take on any risk until mid 140s with Apple.
This is a
Now is not a bad way to go. What are we trading at now? 29? Man. As long as the deltas don't get out of control. Can I put on a different trade? It's 30 cents. Let's say I wanted to put on, get to this 18 delta.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Dollars wide is 140, and then $6 wide. Go to 148. Buy that, and double this one up. Okay, if you're looking at 24-cent credit. So giving up a little bit of a credit for that extra 3 delta, extra $1 in intrinsic value
This is a demonstration of
towards my
Wirecast.
break-even side. But putting this on as a hedge, I want more credit to protect my downside on Google. So that's why I'm so adamant on getting that 30-cent credit, or over 30-cent credit. Still at 29. This is a tough call. This is a really tough call.
This
I
is a
want it at 29.
demonstration of Wirecast.
See that filled at 33. Three. Cancel the other one. Let's see if I get filled at 33. I get it.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
So I think we're going to be leaning a little bit long into next week. Even with this. That was loud. That scared me. Yeah, so.
About me to jump, huh?
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
Oh, there you go.
Apple position canceled.
Couldn't
Did-
get filled.
Did not get filled. Shame. You don't make any money canceling orders.
Mm-mm.
Not saying that it's
This
just
is a
on orders
demonstration
haphazard.
of Wirecast.
It is important to get the price you want.
When you're waiting out on a situation like that can't really hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am protected to the downside, but still leaning a little bit longer than I would have liked, especially in the tech sector. Long in Google, long in Tesla. I am short at Netflix, so that's still a good hedge,
This is a
but
demonstration
not
of
as good as that
Wirecast.
Apple trade. Yep, I'm short in SPY, so I might put on a short delta trade in the Qs. That'll give me a good hedge against Google and Tessie. But all in all, good day. What are we at? $50 profit today in this account. Can't complain.
5%
This
a
is
day.
a demonstration of Wirecast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
1%.
Not bad. Not bad.
You can't complain about 1% a day either.
Yeah, exactly. 5% would be crushing.
5% would be crushing it. Yeah. We had 5% yesterday with that long put scalp
Yeah.
and SPY. But today we were a little bit more conservative. Still was a little bit active. Put on 3 trades. Or I filled 3 orders.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Yeah. So I guess it's okay. I am pretty short. I SPY with a huge run to end the day. SPY and Apple. Yep. Big run to end the day. Almost testing the intraday high. Not quite getting there, but just about. You're going to test them, aftermarket a little bit.
This is a
So, SPY working as a hedge against Tesla and Google. I wanted that Apple trade though. This is where it's important to think: do you want the extra penny or do you want that position? Do
Yeah.
you want the penny or the position?
I would take.
You would take the position.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really a penny I was looking for. It was 5 pennies.
Yeah.
And when you look at it like that, yeah, you're giving up 5 pennies for a position. $5, in fact.
This
But-
is a demonstration of
That strategy, since I was using it as a downside hedge, not really looking to get max credit.
Yeah.
That penny is actually 5% of my credit. So when you look at it in terms of your total credit,
Mhm.
that couple pennies matter.
Do you have a directional bias on SPY?
I am pretty neutral / bullish. I mean, I'm sorry, neutral / bearish.
This
Okay, I
is
was
a
about to say
demonstration
bearish
of
right now. It's not
Wirecast.
I have a bearish skewed iron condor.
Yeah. Yeah, neutral and bearish is.
That's what I'm at. That's what my position is.
You put it in one.
Yesterday,
Yeah, man, what are you doing? Just trade indexes.
good.
Trade indexes, man.
I'm
I'm just kidding.
slowly getting into that.
But it's pretty good. I like that a lot. It's a good.
This is a
That was
demonstration of
definitely a good
Wirecast.
situation to be in.
So wherever we're at. Solid break even to both sides.
Yeah.
I am 7 delta to the downside and 35 delta to the upside. So it is a pure bearish iron condor. As basically as bearish as an iron condor can be.
This
$8
is a
wide, solid
demonstration
width.
of Wirecast.
But for a while.
Like the stream. If you guys haven't liked it yet, it helps us a lot. Subscribe if you could. That would be excellent. Doesn't cost you anything.
So,
If anything, hopefully it could make you money. Hopefully you learn something.
Yeah.
Hopefully you learned something today. Hopefully you made money. Money to learn and to get experience. Yeah, calm day. Started the day a little hectic, but
yeah.
sort of calm down.
Yep.
Nobody really knows what's going on.
A little tough. End of the year is always conflicting for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I feel like end of year is always conflicting. Yeah. People want to just relax. Plus all the money that's being moved out and also moved in, waiting for Santa rallies. And
Mhm.
it's just a lot of confusion, definitely on both sides.
Especially not a lot of volume this week. So it much more wild.
Yep.
Like a headline that maybe would bring about like a 0.25% swing is bringing in a full percent swing.
Yeah.
So the headline risk basically quadruple with this little bit of volume. It's just thin volume. So any crazy rock you throw on the volume can drop it or raise it up.
Yeah. But at least we're mapping it out. Make sure you
What we hope you to do.
it's been a good day then.
Yes.
And so we should probably wrap it up there.
Hopefully you join next week.
Yes.
Continuing our 5K to 50K challenge. We're gonna get there.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
gonna do it the right way. We're gonna protect capital, and we're gonna make gains.
Yep. No losses, maximize profits, and minimize losses. That's always the goal.
There you go.
Have a good day, guys.
Wirecast.